In my shows, everybody put their hands up like a smart kid in chemistry class. Goddamn, it's too easy. I ain't stopping, no other option presented. Authentic with all these writtens, no really, this shit is simple. Too easy. I'ma go on tour, every show is doing numbers, cause futuristic is popping like a pimple. Too easy. I'ma take the girl with all them curves who got the smile on her face, accented with the too easy.
What's going on, Silverbacks? Adam and Phil here with our full meet footage from a week ago, 2 weeks ago now. Been a while, but really good meet. Really couldn't have asked for a better result. I think we both finished on the podium, and I competed. My last competition was in like grade 11 back in high school, which was like 7 years ago. Totaled a solid 985 pounds, I believe. And then this year I competed again. I totaled 1507, so that's a slight improvement over the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, and my previous meet before this one was Ontario Junior Provincials. That was on October 31st, I'm pretty sure. And that meet I totaled 1377, so I was looking to obviously do better than that. And sure enough, with 13 hard weeks of training and a great meet day with some really awesome handlers and support from the crowd and friends like that, we kind of, I think both of us made some really great PRs. Yeah,
it was interesting because I think training in a school gym pretty much my entire lifting career, and then coming into this meet where we had like Alico plates, and we had Alico deadlift platform that was used in the Paralympics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pan Am Games.
Pan Am Games, sorry. And we had a stiff bar and everything with like real knurling. So it's just like little things like that made a big difference. Like when squatting, like having center knurling, where like sometimes we go to the gym and it's just like a polished middle part of the bar, so it just slides around your back. So to have something that like really sticks into your back that's like stiff and not shaking around when you're squatting is really helpful. So having like good equipment made a big difference, I found. And then plus having like Phil and our friends there like cheering us on and getting us hyped up. Phil smacking me in the face, like it's just a recipe for new PRs, really.
Yeah, so all around it was a really good day. I went 9 for 9, which was pretty good. Happy about that for sure. And PR'd on all my lifts. Bench wasn't such a big PR, but still, I mean, when you take into account all those things that Adam said, like having good quality bars, calibrated plates, it can make a big difference. So biggest thing I noticed on the squat was just not having as much bar whip, because most gym bars that you'll find will bend with anything more than 400 pounds usually. So having that bar nice and stiff on your back is a big difference, and I think it made our meet day go a lot more smoother. And overall, I think having that new equipment or that equipment on the meet day was good. But we just have to kind of realize going back into training that the environment that you're in isn't always going to be perfect. So you just have to take that in stride and, keep on working hard and do your best to put it all together on meet day.
Yeah, I wasn't as successful as Phil in the sense that I went for only had 7 successful lifts. I got PR on all 3 lifts, which was good. But bench, which I thought was going to be the easiest for me, or my best lift, ended up kind of being the worst. I ended up missing 2 of the 3 just by racking too early, which was just so dumb. Just not waiting for the ref to say rack. Just got too fired up and was like kind of too much in the zone. I opened with 160 kilos, which was tying the current collegiate record, and I blew it up, but then just threw it in the rack before the ref told me to. Then I kind of messed up my next 2 attempts because I wanted to make bigger jumps, but then on my second attempt, I just jumped up a little bit to make sure I could actually get a lift in. So I jumped up to 165 kilos, which is 373, I think. And so I got that. I waited for the ref to give me the rack command and had a successful lift. And then I jumped up another 5 kilos on my last attempt. Also what I thought was pretty easy, but then again, just didn't wait for him to give me the rack command and threw it into the rack too early. So ended up missing out on some weight there, which was frustrating, but that's why we do these things. Luckily, I still totaled enough to qualify for provincials, which is coming up in, well, still not for a while, but November. So that'll be exciting to go on the platform and kind of make up for those mistakes.
Practice your cues, guys. I mean, it's an easy thing to do. It doesn't take a very long time, and I know Adam could tell you that it will pay off when you're on the platform. And the only thing standing between you and a new PR, a new record is just waiting for those cues from the head judge. And it's not very difficult to understand those cues, but don't take them for granted. Make sure that you're doing them consistently. You don't have to do them through all of your weeks of training, but a couple weeks leading up, start throwing them in there just to get used to them. So like Adam said, if you're not careful, those cues, you could just leave weight on the platform, easy weight that you could smash. So that's just kind of a PSA that we're doing right now, because it's very easy to mess that up, but it's also very easy to make those changes. And I know Adam's been putting in those rack commands in our training already, just to kind of hammer it into your habits. So that's all it takes, is a week or two to kind of familiarize yourself with those cues.
Yeah, just being like cognizant when you're in the lift, like especially when I was deadlifting there, like it took a really long time. Like this meet was like 4 or 5 hours. So by the end, you're just like so gassed. And so I was really trying to get Phil to fire me up just to get the weight moving. But then at the same time, you can't just go in with like a blind rage and try and like smoke it. You have to be really aware of what's going on and really focus on what the ref's saying, and then also at the same time putting in maximal effort to lift the weight.
As for the meet day, we weren't doing anything too crazy or too special. We both made weight really easily. I weighed in at 103.9 and Adam
102.2.
Yeah, so we didn't have to worry about any cuts or anything like that. When it comes to meet day, a lot of the things that you want to do are just going to be relaxing in between your attempts. So making sure that you're not kind of using up all that adrenaline.
Yeah.
But also making sure you have some easy, digestible food on hand. So for me, that was anything from, apples to carb things like sugar and like gummies.
Carrot muffins.
Like
500 calories were helpful.
Exactly, yeah. So get those carbs in any way you can, because by the time you get to deadlifts, you'll probably be pretty fried. So you want to make sure that you have energy to push through that meet. You've done 3, probably maximal squat attempts. You've done 3 maximal bench attempts. So if you're coming in flat for those deadlifts, you're going to feel it. And if you want to do well in those deadlifts, then you're going to have to relax in between your attempts, drink lots of water, electrolytes, and get some food in there too.
All right, guys, that's the video. That's the meet. Hopefully you found it entertaining. I know we certainly did. It was a great time. Really appreciate everyone's support who came out and for all the great comments afterwards. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.